Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe Namaha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् Hare Krishna. Are online devotees able to hear?
Yes, Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes.
We can hear you, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear.
Yeah. So, in our parampara, Srimad Bhagavatam is given very special position. Right from the very first day when we enter ISKCON temple, we hear about Bhagavatam. In fact, it is much more than even Bhagavad Gita. Our Sampradaya's main scripture is Bhagavatam. Every Sampradaya has a scripture which nourishes their Siddhanta, which nourishes their practice, which describes their highest attainment. If I have to give us just a small example, in the Shri Sampradaya, that is Shri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they have Vishnu Purana main. But one of the main scriptures they study very great detailedly. Any of you can guess? Nalayar Divya Prabandham, of course. From the direct from the Vyasa's works or from the Vedic this thing, Mahabharata.
Vishnu Sahasranama.
Vishnu Sahasranama, okay. It's Ramayana. It is there very, that's in fact they say Sharanagati Shastra. There is a lot of Shri Vaishnava Siddhantas are explained well in them. And it also helps in, it tells about practice also. If you go to, I heard this from His Holiness Bhakti Vignan Maharaj when he had come last time. If you go to Sampradayas like a Madhva Sampradaya, for them, any of you can guess? Mahabharata. Yes. Bhagavad Gita, yes, both of them. Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata. Bhagavad Gita being the part of Mahabharata. They very much delve on it, and in fact, the Acharya Madhvacharya has elaborately explained Mahabharata in them and Bhagavad Gita too. When it comes to Gaudiya Vaishnava, that is Chaitanya Sampradaya, the fundamental scripture which explains our Siddhanta and also which explains how should be our practice and what will be our attainment, that is Bhagavatam. So that's why you will hear in ISKCON temples, Prabhupada instituted Bhagavatam class daily. He could have, of course, in the evening he told Bhagavad Gita because that is the Siddhanta, he told it as the, what do you call, undergraduate, I believe, or much below that. It tells the first level of, basically, first level of learning. But Bhagavata is something which you will see all our acharyas, they continuously discuss. So much they have written, expanded on it. So to understand Bhagavata, in the light of the bigger reality of scriptures is what we are trying to see here in a very small manner. It's called as Parichaya. This course is just a very, very small attempt to understand an introduction to it. Prabhupada tells in the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam that if one reads Bhagavatam, then immediately he will realize God. Immediately he will realize God. Not that he has to become purified for it. This comes in the second verse, in the first chapter, in the first canto of Bhagavatam. So it is very, very significant. And this course, what we are embarking here, we have, with the blessings of many devotees, under the guidance of His Grace Narahari Chaitanya Prabhu, Suvarna Gaurahari Prabhu, and many Vaishnavas, we have embarked on this institute where we want to especially learn our Sampradaya Siddhanta the way Srila Prabhupada taught it, and cultivate and become devotees of that particular value system which Prabhupada wanted it. So if you see that vision and mission of this small academy we had planned, which was actually given by senior Vaishnavas, in their words, they are actually, it's nothing ours own made. So they have seen that our Sampradaya is based on this, it can flourish on this, and devotees can be happy learning this and relishing this. If you see the Goswamis, all of great devotees, or Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, they are always relishing these scriptures. And that is one of our main activity in the Sampradaya, one of the main limbs of our practice of Bhakti. So in that mode, we had started this institute in which we have, we want to do this small courses which can help us appreciate scriptures, because a dedicated study, a dedicated time to take out for this study may be very difficult, especially with respect to our schedules, how our schedules are and like that. But nonetheless, we should be progressing in that direction. So that is why we want to, very specifically, we wanted to, in fact, the instruction also was that design some small, easily attendable courses, which doesn't demand so much of commitment in the early practices, especially like Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta. They are quite an intensive courses. We will go to that later point of time, but at least we will learn this. This will help as a stepping stone for such kind of learnings. So in this Bhagavat Parichaya course, today, especially today and tomorrow, we will be looking at the first of these three topics, that is establishing Bhagavata Purana as the highest pramana. Any of you know this one word where it is told Bhagavatam is the highest pramana, like that, some word, some verse, something like that? Huh? Amala Purana, okay. Okay, pramana, like that. Any of you know? It is there in one very famous verse, which tells about the 6 things which our Sampradaya stands for, which are the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It comes in the commentary to Bhagavatam itself. So the shloka says, Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya. The worshipable person, the supremely worshipable person in our Sampradaya is not Vishnu, is not other avatara, is not Krishna of Mathura, Dwaraka. It's very specifically Krishna of Vrindavan, the son of Rajesha, that is Nanda, Nandana Krishna. And the second thing it's told is Rajesha Tanayam Tad Dhama Vrindavanam. The greatest holy place is, which we all adore, we relish to attain, we want to attain that, that is Vrindavan, Vrindavana Dham. And then the next says, Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadhu. The greatest devotees who worshipped Krishna, in Lord Krishna, who is Vrindavana Krishna, Vraja Krishna, are gopis, Vrajavadhus. And it is also told next, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam. All these principles are based on Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the Pramanam Amalam. Prabhu told the word Amala, that word is there. Pramanam Amalam. And Prema Pumartho Mahan. What we want to attain by doing all this? We want to attain moksha. We want to attain a place in Vaikuntha. What do we want to attain? We don't want to attain all of this. We only want to attain Prema, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told. And in the last line says, this is the teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Matamidam Tatradarat Napara. So when we say in our Sampradaya, especially that Lord Krishna is especially Vrindavan Krishna is the supreme subject to understand. We all want to know about him. And our Sambandha is there with him. We want to revive it, we want to develop it. And we want to attain love for him. How do we know how to do all this? For that, there should be a pramana. That's called pramana. Pramana means a valid knowledge. We will see that very etymologically, we will see that. But before we go to it, I want to especially offer respects because we are today beginning to very great devotees in our Sampradaya. They are these 6 Goswamis. Because these 6 Goswamis are the ones who, on the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very much elaborated the details of or the glories of Bhagavad. Especially in that every Goswami has done it. We are not saying one is higher, one is lower, no. But what in our course of study, what we are basing our study is specifically Jiva Goswami. He has written, Chaitanya Charitamrita tells, we were reading just yesterday only, he has written 4 lakh verses describing Bhagavatam. It is told that next to Vyasa, if there is anyone, that is Jiva only, Jiva Goswami. He is an unparalleled scholar. And all his writings are based on Bhagavatam, explaining Bhagavatam, showing how Bhagavatam is the greatest pramana. He has written what is called as the greatest philosophical treatise called Sandarbhas. Sandarbha. There are 6 of them. That's why we call Shat Sandarbha. Like there is this word Shat Darshana, also famous. Like that, Shat Sandarbha. Shat means 6. So we especially are basing our study today, in fact today, tomorrow also, on the writings of Jiva Goswami coming in specific part of a Sandarbha. It is Tattva Sandarbha, the very first of them. In fact, the easiest of them, they say, but it was still difficult to understand. And one small part of it, called Pramana Khanda. We will see that because many of the Prabhupada's disciples have translated it. Prabhupada wanted to do all this work. In the very little time, he could do so much. And he wanted to do many, many more things. He told when he was told, what will you do after Bhagavatam? I'll write Bhagavad Gita again. I will write. He also told Ramayana. He told especially Sandarbhas also. And he writes in the purports of Bhagavatam that how great are these literatures and how practicing devotees should go and learn from. So his desire was that all the practicing devotees in ISKCON movement, which Srila Prabhupada has given, we all should study hearing from practicing Vaishnavas like disciples of Srila Prabhupada. We have explained it so well. It is available in English. We don't need to worry that we should know Sanskrit for it and all. I don't know Sanskrit. So like this, we will quickly offer this very famous prayer to Goswamis and then we will begin. Please repeat after me. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipunau Sadharma Samsthapakau लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मान्यौ शरण्याकरौ राधा कृष्ण पदारविंद भजना
कृष्ण भजन
तेन मत्तालिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ So this verse written by Sri Srinivasa Acharya, describing the six Goswamis' life and their activities and what they did for the world and how they wanted, how they were leading lives. So this specifically explains how they were so expert in so many scriptures. Especially when we go on to what I have heard from Vaishnava senior devotees in ISKCON movement, is that they were so expert. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipunam. They were expert in Vichara, not just knowing theoretically, but in delving into the deep purports or imports of them. And then for what purpose they did it? Tadharma Samstapakam. They wanted to study all this or explain all this to establish Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's principles. And then especially it is told they did this out of great compassion for all the jivas in this world. Otherwise, there is no hope for us to know about this. We can never know. In fact, today the conclusion will be that only at the end. And they are the worthy persons for taking shelter, and they are always relishing, worshipping, service to the divine feet of Shri Radha and Krishna, and we offer respects to each of them. Six of them: Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Sri Jiva, and Gopala. So these six Goswamis, they are the disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they have given these works. So today we are studying, as I already told, it's a one small part which today and tomorrow we will try to do. It is establishing Bhagavata as highest pramana. In this also, today we will do only two topics. Krishna willing, we will be able to cover. I cannot say whether we will be able to cover or not. And there are further parts we will do in the next session. So without taking much time, I sincerely seek everyone's good wishes and blessings and prayers to do this for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas, so as to please them. We want to learn all this so as to serve them better. Not that we want to become a proud panditas and going on with a band of I know this, I know this. So it should be for the service of our gurus, our acharyas. So with that mode, let us embark on this. So Srimad Bhagavatam, how it is highest pramana. This is the theme for first part of Tattva Sandarbha. I will be giving a write out. I will not be able to share the exact slide, but I will give the write out, the whole thing, the notes of it. At the same time, recordings also. Yes. So you can interrupt anytime, whenever you get. So we all want, earlier I was telling that we want to know more about the Supreme Lord Krishna. We want to understand our relationship with him, develop it so as to attain love. And for this, we need knowledge. It cannot happen just on our own. A small child also, if you leave him on his own, he will never become good to live in this world. So we all want education, as we did it in the beginning of our life. That's how we are able to speak properly, learn properly, lead life properly in this world. So similarly, to learn Krishna Bhakti also, we need to have a valid knowledge. A knowledge which is not having defects. a knowledge which is verified, time tested. That type of knowledge we want to see. Not that someone told, someone here said, someone had an experience like this. No, not. If we can close those doors so that I've not put a mic. I thought in small crowd and this itself will catch this thing. Sorry for that. Okay. That last door also. So we want to understand, we want to know about Supreme Lord Krishna. So for that, we want to know what are the sources of that knowledge. So the word pramana means the source of knowledge. Prama means truth. Pramana means the means by which I know that truth. That is pramana. Similarly, there is a word called prameya, means what you know at the end, what you want to attain by knowing it. Prameya. So these are technical terms, but nonetheless, the word pramana means. Yes, Prabhu. Pramana means what? Means of knowledge. Means of knowledge. That itself is not, it is going to give me knowledge. That's the means. Okay. So in general, in this world, we know how to act. It is not that we are knowing it by our own self. We are learning it by some means. Now, what I am going to discuss is something which Prabhupada speaks in very fundamental terms in Ishopanishad, in his small books, about what is called as defects. We cannot know our own self the true knowledge because we have some doshas. So Jiva Goswami, in the very beginning, he starts telling about we have doshas. But how do we understand doshas? First of all, how we are situated. If we know it, then we know where all doshas are there. Now, like there was some sound coming. Why that sound was coming? It was open. So I know, okay, there it is open. Now I close it. Now, okay, it is rectified. Right? So I should know where there is some difficulty. Where is a defect? So we all know that we are inherently soul. Our identity is soul. We are covered by subtle body, sukshma sharira. Upon it, there is another envelope of sthula sharira, gross body. Now, what are these shariras? They are material in nature. They are bhautika vastu, tattva. They are bhautika tattva. Krishna tells, Bhumira ponalo vayu kham mano buddhi. These are my vibhutis. These are my, what he says exactly? Binname prakriti ashtata. These are my prakriti. This is external energy, or to be exact, it is called as apara prakriti. Apara, para and apara, he uses those words. So if we see the envelopes on us, the avaranas on us, the coverings on us, like if I'm here, I'm wearing this. Upon it, I may wear a jacket. I may wear something else. So they are our avaranas. So the soul is covered by first the subtle body. So what is subtle body made up of? Scriptures describe 4 things constitute subtle body. Usually we hear mana, buddhi, ahankara. I'm especially this I'm deriving from. In fact, I've heard at Kapila's teachings. He tells 4 parts are there in subtle body. We'll go to little functions of them so that we understand it. And then there is upon it, what is there? Gross body. And gross body has 24 elements, correct. senses specifically. You're right. It is made up of 24 elements, but what are the specific parts in it? Senses. Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas. The senses. You remember Krishna tells Indriyani Paranyahu, Indriyebhya Param Manaha, Manasastu Parabuddhi. Have you heard this? This Krishna says in third chapter. Higher than senses are mind. Higher than mind is buddhi, intelligence. Higher than that is actually Atma. Of course, it doesn't mention Ahankar, but Ahankar is there. So now, if you see what are the functions of it. So what is the function of Indriyas? Collect knowledge, know about the world, and act in the world. Karmendriyas, by that we act in the world, output. And Jnanendriyas, we gain knowledge about them. They are like input. Now, in subtle body, the first thing, actually in Indriyas, you can distinctly see, okay, these are eyes, two eyes, this is nose. I can distinctly see, but in subtle body, it is very difficult because the subtler it becomes, it is difficult to even perceive. It is difficult to understand. So, it is not separated distinctly, it is functionally known. Okay, if this function is happening, that means it is by mind. If this function is happening, it is by buddhi. It is this function happening, chitta. If this is happening, then ahankar. So what are the functions of, say, for example, mind? Willing, accepting, rejecting, like and dislike. Very good. Okay. Then what else for buddhi? You're right, Prabhu. Sankalpa, vikalpa, kama, like that is told. Then what is for buddhi? Discrimination of things or whatever, abstract, whatever. Many like that. There are many functions of buddhi. Just few days before we were seeing in Bhāgavata discussions also morning. The doubt is a function of intelligence. You doubt on a specific thing. You know what is false and what is right knowledge. And then you determine yourself to follow that knowledge. That is also buddhi, nishchaya it is called. Then to get sleep is also a sign of intelligence. It's a function of intelligence. Those who are very active, they cannot sleep. Because intelligence continuously disrupts that state. Like that, there are many functions. I am forgetting one more. So basically, it is something which thinks it rationally. And then chitta means, ahankar. Ahankar means you identify. You identify. Like I identify myself as a man or someone who is living in a particular place, born in, like that's identity. Language, place, all this identity. Then chitta is something more deeper, that is an awareness. An awareness, like now I'm seeing. In fact, if I say it, that becomes mine. I'm seeing. Then I see that, okay, there is a door which is closed. I saw it, it was closed. So the first thing, the very first time I glanced at it, what I understood is, okay, I perceived. I was conscious that yes, door is closed. At later time, I understand it by intelligence. The first initial stage of that knowledge, that is called awareness. Not yet distinct understanding. See, the distinct understanding comes next. Like sometimes they say, "Aapne dekha kya? Did you see?" I didn't. Arey, it was in front of you only. ऐसा होता है कभी कभी, like sometimes it happens, na? Like we are not aware what has happened. Though it is right in front of our eyes, we have not noticed it. What has happened? Chitta has not functioned well. Chitta has not understood. So chitta is consciousness or awareness. Okay. Now, why we had to understand this is, now when we go to understand defects, we need to know where are those defects coming from. Chitta is consciousness as an awareness. Like plant is conscious. But does plant know what is what? its intelligence is very, very low, but it is conscious. Chitta is there. A stone is not conscious. I hope you are getting this. Huh? So that initial stage of awareness. Okay, I saw it. Now, when I further little more delve on it, I understand color. I understand that is intelligence function. Is it clear? Now, all of you will have to put little effort here, because now one defects we see, and I will ask you where this defect is coming. The first defect, he says, from okay, is Brahma. Brahma. Prabhupada says it as illusion. Prabhupada has told this in Ishopanishad. He has told in lectures. Now we are just learning it a little more technically. That's the only thing we're doing. So Brahma means what? Illusion means what? So where is this defect coming? Grass body just sees. Actually, grass body is just like camera, say eyes, they see. But how you understand it is dependent on subtle body. Okay. Yes. So Brahma, which is actually talking about the first defect, to be deluded, illusion. What is it? You understand one thing to be another thing. Bhram mein pad gaya. The famous understanding Prabhupada says is to think oneself to be body. And of course, anything later we fall in illusion many times, many ways. See, we'll discuss these defects. I am purposefully not going in those examples. Actually, we learn this in Discover Yourself, right? We learn this, we have taught this. So, of course, those examples are important, but I will not repeat those examples here. I'll just say somewhere where it's necessary, I'll surely bring it. So Brahma, illusion, like Prabhupada says, the very famous, any example of Brahma? Rope, understood as
Rope to be a snake, Prabhu.
Right, Mataji. Thank you. Rope to be snake. Any other? Railway tracks seem to converge. Or mirage, very famous, like Prabhupada says so many times. In Shastras also this is described. Mirage. What do you call? This will go to the So, yes, you understand. Okay. So that is Brahma. Now, second one is Pramada, it's called. So Pramada is telling basically madness. Pramad means you become little mad. We become little mad. Due to which we end up doing some mistakes. We end up doing mistakes. Mistake. Prabhupada says committing mistakes. So what is that technically called? Pramad. Pramad mein kar diya isne. Pramad. Mad. Mada, Unmatta, Pramatta. Have you heard these words? These are talking about different levels of madness. Mad. So where is this defect coming? How? I hope all of you are all together. We are all together. Okay. Fine.
Where is the one that gives the orders?
Mind gives order. Yes, please.
Avidya.
Avidya. Okay. That's much deeper. So that's the root cause, of course. We will not go to that. But okay, we are proud we did mistake like that. Yes, we are not saying no, because ahankari person only commits mistakes. So he's proud and like that. But what we are trying to see, sometimes a person does mistakes without ego. हो गया गलती मेरे से, something we did mistake. So what happened?
Lack of knowledge.
Huh?
Lack of knowledge.
So which part of this subtle body is it coming? Chitta? Right? Chitta. Basically, when we say ho gaya galti, so what it is, it's inattention. We don't, so awareness was not proper, like driving. We were not aware something we did, we went and smashed, banged. So it could be chitta. So that is that. Then the next part is, what is the next? Hey, Pramada, what do you say? Huh? Illusion, cheating. No? Cheating propensity, correct. So technically that word is called vipralipsa. Vipralipsa. Vipralabdhi, vipralipsa, like that technically. So what it is, basically you have a wrong motive. Huh? You want to cheat the other person. So there, in fact, it is told that all are functioning in a wrong manner. You have a wrong motive. We have a wrong motive. The awareness is wrong. That's why no, those who are wanting to cheat, what they are understanding about what is happening, it's all ulta. They don't accept that what I understood is wrong. They don't say that understand that decision was wrong. And they are ahankar, they don't. So all these are involved actually. So this is one of the very strong defects. And lastly, Prabhupada also says imperfect senses. So imperfect senses technically is called karana patava. Karana means senses. Karana means karana. Antah karana means internal sense. Bahya karana means external senses like eyes, ear, all this. So when we say generally karana means bahya karana. So there is some dullness in the sense that if you, there is some limitation in the sense. It cannot perceive things properly. No, chitta is fine, but senses in itself. Any example you can give? Some, many of you know, many of you are. Yes, Prabhu?
Not really, because there is a limit for our audible brain.
Okay, audible. Yeah. And we were not here. That very low voice, things like that. Eyes also, little dark, can't see it. Sometimes cataract, sometimes vision problem, all this, deafness. We're not talking about even ranges. How the yogyata or the kshamata of the senses reduces. So that clearly the defect is in senses. Correct, no? Is it clear? Gross body or indriyas. So these four defects are there in practically every jiva in this world. At least one of them, two of them, three of them, or all of them. Devotees, we are all, we know that, okay, yes, we are learning, but yet we fall prey to these defects. So when we are having so many coverings which is filled with defects, how can this poor soul who is caught inside can know anything properly? Can know anything properly. So this background is important to understand, because now what we'll go to it. Now with this, let us spark it a little bit. Now we will go to understand what are all the ways by which we know, we gain knowledge in this world, and how these defects, how much of them are there in this, and what is something which can be relied on. You all know Shabda Pramana is something which we rely on, but how do we come to that? That is what is the next step in this. So what we got to know is how much I am defective. My body is defective, my antarkarana is defective. At this point, any questions? Any devotee in online also can ask. Are we going fast?
Yes, Prabhu. Fast. Prabhu.
Okay, we'll go to the next part. So, Sri Jiva Goswami goes on to say that there are many ways by which we learn in this world. Different people who follow different paths, different philosophies, they have different pramanas which they accept. It's a very famous principle that there are 10 pramanas. How many? 10. And the 10 pramanas are finally put as 3 pramanas. Okay? The 3 are there within it, but it's like they are like the supersets. But total 10 pramanas he describes. So he goes on to say, what are the ways by which we know, we learn in this? Any person who is following Vedic civilization, Vedic culture, he knows. He says, I've heard this from some rishi. I've heard this from a yogi, some powerful person. Who has told it? No, very realized person has told it. That kind of pramana is called Arsha pramana, coming from a rishi. Arsha. For example, Gautama, Patanjali, Kapila, many, they have written very elaborately something which is coming from their practice and realization. Possible. That's Arsha pramana. The statements of an authoritative sage or a deva, many like that. The Vedic culture, many such statements are true. Especially if you know Sanskrit, there is something called Arsha Prayoga, they tell it. You may do some sandhi or some vigraha, which may not be described in the Vyakarana Niyamas, in the rules of Vyakarana. But you say, no, this is there in the Rishi's words. It's called Arsha Prayoga. You have to accept it as correct. Arsha. The second type of pramana, he says, is upamana. Upamana means, it's written there, comparison. You don't know something. You want to know about something unknown. How do you know? Okay, you compare something of this known object. Oh, this is how that unknown thing is. For example, I don't know dragon. I did not know it until this dragon. Very strange fruit. So, those who don't know, I don't know. So, how will you explain about dragon fruit? Some color. It's like this round. And inside, it is like apple. But the seeds are everywhere in it. Its taste is something like a pear, something like that. You describe in comparison. One of the very famous examples told is about an animal called a nilgai. Have you heard this? Nilgai. I had seen it when I went to this Gokuldam farm. Downloaded an image. Let me see if I have it. Okay. So this nilgai, it is famously called as Gavayaha in the Shastras. It is of the jati of cow, but it is not cow. Have you seen? It actually has long neck and it is little blue. It's little bluish. Have you seen? It's there in Gokuldam area a lot. So
It's a hippopotamus, Prabhu.
Prabhu? Sorry, Mataji?
It's a hippopotamus or what?
No, it's
Hippopotamus.
not it.
Okay.
It's nilgai. It's I don't know English what it's called. So it looks like, but it doesn't have some of the features like of cow, like very nutritious milk, that tender nature, things like. But it runs very heavily, and it is also eating habits and all like that. I have not heard about it. At least humans don't take. I believe. I've not heard about nilgais. It is bluish. In Pune also I have seen this in the hills. So the Shastra says, okay, when you're describing Nilgai, you don't know Nilgai. Huh? So what you will do, you will explain how its limbs are. It also has a tail like cow. It also has some chamda, little thick skin below neck. May not be the hump very much. You see that? It's not. It also has a horn, but it has some good kind of hairs also. So it's not considered sacred like cow. It's an animal of forest. So how do you know about it? You know it by comparison. Anyway, it's okay. Nilgai is Nilgai. But point what I am saying is, okay, those who could not see, this is how Nilgai looks. So the point is, you know something by comparing with the what you know. There is something unknown. You want to know about it by comparison. That's called, what is it called? Upamana. Remember this. Let's get back to our. The third one says is Arthapatti. Arthapatti. I'll give enough time to note if you want, but just don't miss the explanation because I have not written everything there. It becomes too much. You can pause me and tell Chaitanya Prasad stop. You can write it. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Arthapatti means you actually do some kind of inference. Like the example told here, it's like this boy, the name is told as Devadatta. This boy, he doesn't eat in the day, but he's fat. Means he eats at getting Artha Patti. I presume he eats at night. Sometimes we use these words. It's called presumption, Arthapatti. It is used in by our acharyas in some of the descriptions. Like Krishna, his body is actually he doesn't have a body. It's told described like that. He doesn't have gunas, he doesn't have body at the same. At the same time, later it is also told his body is not made up of veins. Have you heard this description somewhere? Where you heard? Ishwar. It is told Akayam, it doesn't have body. It is told Asnaviram, it doesn't have veins. What is the point of telling he doesn't have veins? Because he doesn't have body. But why Shastra tells he doesn't have veins? Are all of you able to follow this?
What is this?
Veen, nas, nara, naragadu, naragadu. Veins. In the shloka number 8 of Ishopanishad, it's told Akayam Asna Viram Shuddhamaha Bhavid. Prabhupada describes. So there the inference is made by Arthapatti that he has a body, but the body is not made up of beans and some other materials like this. Means blood, muscle. His body is not like that. So what are they using? Arthapatti. Is it clear? We got that's what Devadatta is fat, but he doesn't eat in the day. It's a small case you try to understand. Devadatta, this one boy, is fat. He doesn't eat in the day. He doesn't eat when you're seeing you never seen eating. That means what? He eats when you're not seeing. Because he's eating when I'm not seeing. That's why he's fat. So you connect that dots. They say, connecting dots, whatever they say. Artha, bhakti. Going fine. So next one he tells is abhav. Abhav, have you heard this word? Abhav. इसका अभाव है. There is an abhav of scarcity or absence of that. Abhava, Malaya abhav, rains, scarcity. No, it's not. Like lights are off. That means what? Darkness. That means what? There is no light there. There is no light. That means darkness. So you got knowledge about darkness by knowing that there is no light. Is it clear? It's a little more magical, but nonetheless, I hope it. These examples are simple. You know something by an absence of some entity. Like Maya is there. How? Krishna is not. When Krishna is there, Maya is not there. This is also can understand. Jaha Krishna taha nahi Mayar adhikar. So another thing this is sambhava. Sambhava means you include some other things within it. For example, Gajanan Prabhu has 500 rupees. In his pocket, he has 500 rupees. That means he has 10 rupees. Surely it is there. No? So it is included. When you say something is there, that means this is already, that's called inclusion. Knowledge by inclusion, knowledge by absence, knowledge by presumption. These are words used in logic also, which our Goswamis have described. These are actually coming from Nyaya Shastras. And our Goswamis, as they are, Nana Shastra Nipuna, Vichara Naika Nipuna, and they use all this and to glorify Bhāgavata. Later we'll see that how it comes. So that is Sambhava. Then another thing he says is Aitihya. Aitihya means something which is, it's like coming from generation after generation. Pandavas built the Red Fort or the old fort in Delhi. Pandavas built that old fort in Delhi. Delhi. Where is it written? No, hum sunte aaye. We have been hearing it. People sometimes use that word Sthala Purana. Which Purana is there in Vyasa's Sthala Purana, story of Sthala Purana. And that is also given its place. We are not, it's not called wrong. Please understand this. Huh? So truth is known by many means. So these are all the means. And one more pramana says is Cheshta. Yes. I'll not go to some pramana. Yeah.
Maybe say
Arsha. Yeah. So what Jiva Goswami will do is he will put all of them under three main categories, and there he will show gradation. He will show that. Now we all have heard Shabda is superior. No? He will show that. He will show that very, very reasoningly, very logically. He will show. We'll come to that a little while. See, when we say blind, okay, the question is when we say Aitihya, does it mean blindly followed, someone told and blindly followed? That's the question of Vittal Karuna Prabhu. So, not necessarily, because when we say blind following, that means mostly we mean it is wrong only. Correct. But these may not be wrong. Just that it is not recorded, it is not written down somewhere. Huh? Are you getting this problem? It could be a proper event which has happened. We don't know. No evidence, no records of it.
Families, they follow the same.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Sutas. Yeah. Ah. Yes, like there is some Kula Ritis, worship, some specific days you go and do this. There are some, not necessarily everything is blind. Just because I don't know, that means blind. No, not necessarily. But these are considered as a valid pramana. So it could be true. It is true. We don't see that it's always true also. Something is always true. That will come to it little later. So now the seventh thing he says is cheshta. Cheshta means you act out. Cheshta. Kapi cheshta. Cheshta means acting. Act means basically like you show. See, there is Arundhati. At the time of marriage, they show, no? Am I right? Or see, there is Dhruva Nakshatra. See, there is, no? Right, like this, many things you point out and show. So that is called cheshta. Like some gestures, mudra, some, ankit karna, whatever. You show it by your gesture. Cheshta. They are also mudras. You are showing it. You are depicting that. It's very right. Very good example. So they show everything by cheshta. They are not opening mouth, but everything is understood. Very good example. Nice. I could not think of. So these seven. Now, the next what comes is something very detailedly explained. In fact, they form one of the major parts of pramanas. Famously known Pratyaksha, Anumana and Shabda. Okay. So what is Pratyaksha? I hope all of you have known some simple basic understandings of these pramanas. So let's try to know it a little more deeply here. Okay. What is Pratyaksha? Seeing is belief. Huh? Seeing is belief. Seeing is belief. Is it only seeing? Hearing is believing. Anything more? Experience. First hand experience. Very good. Physical presence. Pratyaksha. Okay. Yes. Literally, Pratyaksha means something which happens directly in front of my eyes. Pratyaksha vagina node there. Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha. And their eyes actually indicate all other senses also. Not that only eyes. Like I heard it. I heard it directly, Baba. Actually, I knew it is hot. Milk was hot. I saw it. Is it not? I heard it. Like this, all the five. I smelled it. Okay. All these things. In this sequence, mind is also in. I remember I did it. Mind has stored them. The past, the experiences of senses with sense objects. The five senses with sense objects of Rupa, Rasa, Sparsha, Gandha, and Shabda. With similarly, Chakshu, all this, when they came together, there was some knowledge. That is Pratyaksha. We don't, there is no delving on that. Delving or doing some inference based on it is another type. Just that directly is Pratyaksha. Now, Pratyaksha, that's why it's told as direct sense perception. There is externally by senses, internally also by mind which remembers this. So the senses of conditioned souls have limitation. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna uses some words, very interesting. Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam susukham kartumapyayam. Use the word pratyaksha avagamam. Any of you know what is the meaning of it? Perceived, not direct experience. Direct experience. Pratyaksha avagamam. So, at the stage when a jiva actually gets freed from all these antakaranas, all that, that time when the indriyas perceive, that is considered very pure. it is considered as a very pure pratyaksha praman, which is non-defective. There is no defects in it. In fact, that is rated as Vaidusha Pratyaksha, it is called. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur sees some effulgence at the birth site of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We hear, no, this? How you think? His eyes are, fully realized with knowledge and love, and he's seeing it. Krishna reveals on that, those eyes. So like this, many, we hear in the Shastra. So that's a very special category of pratyaksha. We are not talking about that pratyaksha here. Please do not mistake in that. Now, this pratyaksha, what we are telling is something which is happening. That's why it's told it is limited to present. I came in touch with it and I know. Not that I know something of future, no. Not that I knew what it was before, no. Like for example, I taste curd. But do you know what was the taste of it when some 8 hours before? It was not sour. Now I am tasting it, I am feeling sour. But do I know the knowledge about it in its past? No. In its future? No. So pratyaksha is limited to present. This is important word because later it will be delved on. And it is limited surely to material things because the senses can only perceive material sense objects. Sense objects are material. Rupa, rasa. And of course, I talked about Vaidusha. I'll go to that. We are not talking about that pratyaksha, pure pratyaksha, pure souls. Are we okay? Anumana, that's the next one, very famously known. What is Anumana? Analysis. You
Doubt.
analyze something. Yes, anyone online would like to add?
Doubting, Prabhu, doubt.
Doubting. Okay. Guess. You're not sure, you guess. I don't. Thesis. Okay, very nice words. All these words are indicating this. I'm explaining this. So Anumana, the very word says, you know after. Means you saw something and you did something and you got to know something after that. It is not immediate. Like see in Pratyaksha what happens? Okay, it's black. It's immediate. But in Anumana, seems something is I delve on it. There is some processing time. You will see that there is very systematically explained this thing. So Anumana is inference. It's called inference. Technically, this word is called vyapti. It's called vyapti. So for this, okay, what is happening here in Anuman Praman is some experience we had, sometimes even repetitively. Based on that experience, we wanted to know about something we have not known till now. So we know, we do what is called as inference. There is some similarity between that unknown thing and this experience. So we connect it. But not necessarily that everything is similar. Yes, Prabhu? All scientific. So what I will do now is something, because we all are already conversant with certain things. I'll just show some things which yeah. Okay. Now we'll come to this. Okay. Are you able to see this? So knowledge by speculation, Prabhupada uses that word. Okay. So here, this is very famous example given. In kitchen, I see some smoke. see some smoke. A boy came to the kitchen and he saw smoke is coming. And mother told, "Arey, switch off that." Okay, he turned it. Now he understood, okay, something was there lit. That is called fire. That's why smoke is coming. Okay. Another place he went and there he saw smoke. And there, how so much smoke is coming? He asked. Then mother told, "No, beta, there is some fire there. That's why smoke is." So he had this experience, two experiences. Now, based on this, he comes to an inference. What? Can you guess? Simple.
There is a smoke without.
So he infers that wherever there is smoke, there is fire. There is fire. Now, logically, this is reached. This conclusion is reached with some thought procedures. I'm sorry to going little here because this is how our Goswamis go to the details. So at first you see something. That's called pratigna. Proposition. I saw fire, the mount. And then it's told, okay, fire is there is smoke. You reason it. You reason. You do what is called hetu. Now the third thing is very important. What he says, oh, okay, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. How you know it? Arey, maine kitchen mein dekha. I had seen it in my house, in kitchen. Now I've come near here. So much fire is coming. That means there is so much smoke is coming. That means there is fire. Oh, very good. He is making this connection. So then he understands this, that there is smoke over mountain. That means there is fire on the mountain. So he comes, he applies that knowledge and he concludes. So first there was some observation. And then he reasoned himself. Then he connected with his past experience. Oh, because I had seen it like that. Oh, that means now this is how I should understand this situation. In very simplistic terms. Let's not go by the technique. Okay. Now, if this boy comes across a situation where there is smoke, but there is no fire. Say suppose he comes, okay, this is Vyapti. Vyapti means an inference. Where there is smoke, there is. So if he comes across this place, this scenario, what is this? A fog. Now, or he comes across this, that fire is now extinguished. Fire is not there now, but smoke is there coming. Now, so what went wrong? His reasoning, yes. That inference he made now, by which that the third step which was there, he connected. Oh, I had seen it in kitchen. Now I am seeing here there is smoke here. There is no fire there. It's so cold there. It's fog. So there, in this sequence, he went wrong in this step. If our inference goes wrong, sometimes our observation also goes wrong. Then you make a big mistake later. Oh, there is fire. Or there is no fire on that. There is no fire on that. So like this, Anumana Pramana has its limitation. I will ask you some I was just thinking in the evening, some relevance of this. The famous scientist Darwin, we all hear Prabhupada speak so much about. So he made some experiments. He made experiments in which he got some, what I remember reading is some cockroaches with the different eye colors. Have you heard? Do you remember this? Eye colors, eye colors. Yeah. And he crossed them. No, some male, female, they had different eye colors. And that cockroaches, you remember that big chart we used to make, learning that natural evolution theory. This crossing. And while over a period of time, you crossed like the crossing means basically they come together and they produce their offsprings. A male cockroach had this particular color of eye, a female cockroach had this particular color of eye, and what comes out in the child? That is what is survival. Something in the nature survives. That's what actually grows ahead, evolves ahead. And you will see the later, some after, while crossing, you will see something, some particular crossbreeds, they die. Some particular crossbreeds, they very nicely grow, they evolve. So this was his observation. His observation was only in the sense of eyes. Another simple example, if you say, there was one scientist called Lamarck. Have you heard this? He made a theory called use and disuse of theory, use and disuse of organs. So he told any organ used a lot, it grows a lot. And any organ which is not used, it dies. Famous example of giraffe he gives. Giraffe used make a lot, it became long. Anyway, I'll not go to the details of it. So he made an inference. Okay. Now the inference had some truth in it, but to generalize it, that the species actually they evolve naturally. What evolved was just color of some organ in some mutation. But later he told species themselves come out of evolution. Like man came out of monkeys. That was too far-fetched a generalization. Inference was made, generalization, you see where it went. Or this, even giraffe also, it used to eat something on the plant, on the high part of the tree. But it was also using something to eat on the ground. It used to drink water, it used to eat something or ground also. How is it that it only used there? So the point is, when inference or generalization goes wrong, then what later we get as knowledge by connecting dots, using that inference, that also can go. Is it clear? So this is Anumana Pramana. It's good. It's not that the child always had this trouble of falling into the wrong conclusion. But there are some situations where that generalization just doesn't work, because it's not that we know the entirety of all cases, possibilities. We don't know possibilities. Our knowledge is very limited. So like that, Anumana Pramana, it actually is following this sequence I already told you. Now comes the last one. In fact, very important one is Shabda Pramana. So let's see how Shabda Pramana is understood as, Prabhupada says that is the Pramana to understand Krishna or the absolute truth or the spiritual knowledge. So what is Shabda Pramana in general? Is that not Pratyaksha Pramana of hearing? That word is it? Authoritative source. So it is told that the word used is Apta Vakya. Apta, usually we say someone as Apta. We use Apta, Apta Mitra, Apta Bandhu. Apta means close. Someone who is very trustworthy. Apta, ye mere Apta is my Apta. So, someone whom we trust. So he is saying something. See, till now what was happening, or in fact, Pratyaksha and Anuman, we will revisit those earlier 7 months again, because all of them also fall in this. But Pratyaksha and Anuman, they were all learning within ourselves. We saw something, directly we understood. We saw something, we thought about it and understood. But now what is coming? I am learning from a external source. If that source is proper, trustworthy, there is great chance that I get right. I may be full of defects. I am full of defects. There's no doubt about it. And my trying to understand myself is also defective. So if I get from a trustworthy source, a reliable source, then there is great chance of coming to the right. Not always guaranteed. Depends on that person's also. If he has understood by Pratyaksha Anuman, what he will do? That is again defective. Are you all able to appreciate this? So in this world, when we learn, we always learn by intermix of these pramanas, not only one. Like the child first time when it sees milk, mother tells this is milk. He is seeing the white liquid, but mother tells this is milk. So what is that? Which pramanas are working here? Can you someone say? Yes.
Mother face.
What is that pramana, Prabhu? Just now, Misa. Shabda. Right from childhood, right from our birth, we are learning Shabda. We are learning from trustworthy source. We are also learning from, we are not telling protection. So some things we learn when no one is around us. We learn by ourselves. Something we learn by our intelligence or mind. But most often, Shabda is there. There. Like I have to go from here to say BR Hills tomorrow. Devotees are going a trip tomorrow. How do I don't know how to go. Then what I use? Maps. I trust it. Though that maps is made because of Pratyaksha Anuman, but repeatedly people have gone and now they have made those maps, Google Maps. So I put trust on it. That is Shabda. Pratyaksha, repeated Pratyaksha. Now it becomes trustworthy source of knowledge. That is knowledge used by everyone. That becomes Shabda. In fact, now we are hearing, when we hear from Guru, we hear their Pratyaksha is there or not? Is there. But it is Shabda which we hear. We are not learning by our own senses independently. We are learning through our senses. Is this clear? So these pramanas always act in interplay of their say. It's not that only one pramana. Like even if I'm hearing Shastra, I have to hear through my ears. I have to understand through my mind and intelligence. Is it not? So it is there. So now Shabda Pramana has two types. Anyway, I told about it. It's meaningful, articulate, sound, trustworthy. It's two types. One is called Paurusheya Shabda and second is called Apaurusheya Shabda. Paurusheya and Apaurusheya. If you hear the word Apaurusheya, what we understand?
Here, like for example, the teacher says, "Let us learn in the younger ages. This means A, this means B."
Excellent. So that is Shabda, correct. Now I am asking, in the Shabda Pramana, there are two categories. From whom am I hearing based on the two categories? Am I hearing from someone who has learned by Pratyaksha Anuman, by living in this world? Someone of this world. Like I know, like electrical engineering bomb or B.L. Tereja electrical engineering, or whatever those books are there. There are some, these are the people you should know, hear from for learning this. Because they are the trustworthy. So we are hearing practically every day so much of Shabda is there. Not that only in spiritual knowledge Shabda, no. But that Shabda is called Paurusheya Shabda. But the Shabda Brahman which is required to learn about Krishna, it is Apaurusheya Shabda. So what we learn in Shastras, Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, Bhagavata, all this is Apaurusheya Shabda. The Guru is speaking, but is he speaking from his pratyaksha? No, no. He is speaking, ultimately you trace it, it goes to someone out of this world. Apaurusha. That's why Apaurusha. He is not a Purusha of this world. Apaurusha. That's the word expression. Whether you accept that Apaurusha is Krishna or Brahman or whatever it is, but is Apaurusheya Shabda. Okay. So now, just to conclude on those 7 pramanas. So all those 7 actually fall within these 3 broad categories. In these 3 broad categories. Like say, Arsha Praman. Can you guess which pramana it will fall among Pratyaksha, Anuman, Shabda? Shabda. Very good. Or Aitihya Praman. Aitihya means tradition. Aitihya means tradition. Shabda Praman. Very good. Arthapatti, that is presumed. Anumana. Abhava, knowledge by absence. Anumana. Sambhava, you compare. Huh? Anumana Praman, correct. Lot of it is Anumana Praman. What else we have? Cheshta, gestures. Pratyaksha. Nothing more was there? Upaman. Upaman is what? Huh? Comparison. Okay. Comparison. Upamana is also Anumana. Compare. So many of these pramanas, 7 pramanas, they actually fall within this Pratyaksha, Anuman and Shabda. Okay, Abhava is kind of Pratyaksha. Upamana, Arthapatti, Sambhava and Cheshta are kinds of Anuman. Okay, Cheshta also involves some guess. Okay, is showing like this. This mudra may be there, but there is some inference told out. So Abhava is something you directly see and you make a or understanding. Arsha and Aitihya are kinds of Shabda. So actually, these 3, that's why we hear these are the 3 main pramanas. But these 3 pramanas involve all these varieties. Now, coming to the last part of today's discussion, that within Pratyaksha, Anuman and Shabda, all of us have heard this right from very beginning. Shabda Praman is superior. Why? Is superior. Shabda Praman is considered as the highest. Why? Now we are not talking about knowing something in this world. We are talking about spiritual subject. That's how we began. We want to know about Krishna, our sambandha with him, how to reach him, how to attain prema for him. This is our subject of study or learning. If I want to know about this, okay, Shabda Praman is highest. How? That Prabhu is saying it is free of 4 defects. Now you have to qualify it very clearly. So Apaurusheya Shabda is free of defects. That can help us. Okay. Anything more? Sorry again. Okay.
So the inference was
Yes. So there are defects not only in senses, in our mind. We saw, no, where all what defects are there, all that. You know? So yes, it is defective. That one reason is defects. Any other? All device creatures. Huh?
there is no hidden agenda.
Oh, okay. They're not having any ulterior motive. Actually, that is cheating propensity only, which is defect. We agree that. Anything more? Okay, okay. I am with the sincerest motive, with my purest, senses. I have become pure. I have gained properly some purity and some control and all that. Now, can I know? Yes, that's also told. The famous shloka says, Panthas dukoti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayo rathapi manaso munipungavana So yes, yat prapadasim avichintya tattve, that word avichintya tattve, the tattva of Krishna is avichintya, it is beyond our chintana. It is, that's why often use the word adhokshaja, adhokshaja Vishnu, adhokshaja Krishna is adhokshaja. Is beyond our aksha. Aksha means eyes. All the pratyaksha or all anumana also comes within that. Whatever pramanas, akshaja they are. Krishna can put pratyaksha anuman below and he is there above it. That's why adhaha aksha is beyond. Achintya is word. The word achintya means he is beyond our chintana also. That's why it is told a yogi or a jnani, let him meditate for, you give him, okay, he may die. You give him unlimited amount of time to live. Let's say a case. He will not die. He is living eternally. And okay, but how much far he can go out of this world? Okay, you give him the unlimited ability also to travel. He has unlimited time. He has unlimited ability to travel. But is it sufficient to know Krishna or reach Krishna? It says, Vayor athapi manaso muni pungavana. Even with the highest speed of mind, forget about wind. Shatavatsara, Bantastu Koti Shatavatsara, Koti Shatavatsara, crores of years of time. Avichintya, it cannot be reached. So, like this, the very nature of the absolute truth is it is beyond our material perception. So, first of all, we have defects. Secondly, even if we try to know how much time we will waste, even in material world, if I have to know by myself, I will have to spend so much time. So there is great expenditure of time and we have limited time. We are not having that ideal case. And also, Pratyaksha Anumana, as we saw earlier, they explain what is present tense. They cannot explain the knowledge of how I was in past or how I can be in future. They cannot explain it. A simple fact, curd. I don't know what was curd's taste yesterday, just by tasting it. I know that it was not sour. But point is, it cannot do it by tongue. That means Pratyaksha cannot give the knowledge about that item, how it was in past. Similarly, what will be it in future? It cannot say. So Pratyaksha and Anuman, they don't tell about past or future. So with these reasons, our acharyas discard Pratyaksha and Anuman. They cannot be independent sources of knowledge, valid knowledge, especially if the subject matter is Krishna, Paramasatya, all that nature is true. So we can never, ultimately, we can never try to understand that supreme transcendental spiritual reality by our materials. And he says this, that then how do we see this Pratyaksha Anuman? Like right now, I am hearing. Am I supposed to think about it or not? Correct. No, we can't just blindly accept like that. So how do we see this Pratyaksha Anuman in, especially in the path of Krishna Bhakti, which is given? They see there are some religious paths where they say don't ask questions. This is it. This is it. This is what will happen if you do it. This is what will happen if you don't do it. Huh? They don't even go an extra mile to explain the logic behind it. No. This is the word of God. Accept it. You don't follow, this will be your fate. You all know what we are talking about. So, but in the Vaishnava Shastras, especially Bhāgavata and many, they go to great detail to explain this to the extent we can understand. So, Pratyaksha and Anuman are assistants to Shabda. They are not independent. If somewhere Pratyaksha Anuman goes opposite, like Prabhus are discussing fifth canto of Bhāgavata, where the understanding of cosmology is given, cosmology, which is quite different in what we see and what we have heard. Purusha Shabda is something we have heard. Our Pratyaksha is also telling something, but is telling something. So Pratyaksha and Anuman, when they are contradicting, we don't accept it. But some things could be assisting. Oh, okay. The Prophet says that you see this plant is growing. How it is growing? These are the symptoms of its soul present there. This Pratyaksha is, you are able to verify Shabda by Pratyaksha or by Anuman. Like we saw now, our Acharyas have explained with so much of reasoning. It makes so much sense, no? When we hear like this. So this is Anuman. We are able to reflect on it, infer from it. Shastra Yukta it is called. So this is Anumana, which is helping Shabda, realization of Shabda. So this is how we should see. So in short, I am concluding here that Shabda Praman, especially Apaurusheya Shabda, is the way, is the Pramana for understanding absolute truth. Our topic is Bhagavatam is the highest Pramana. We will reach there maybe tomorrow, Krishna willing. We have come at least to the point of Apaurusheya Shabda is the Pramana for knowing Krishna absolute. So what constitutes Apaurusheya Shabda? Oh, it is vast. It is vast. And there is so much difficulty there also. There is so much difficulty in Apaurusheya Shabda's understanding. Variety, interpretations, our own limitations to understand, availability, how many are available? So many is there, which all is the subject for our learning tomorrow. At this point, I would like to pause it. But before ending, I just want to show this one very nice verse, which is coming in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna tells to Uddhava there. He says, it's not visible. Pratyakshenanupmanena nigaменatma samvida adyantavad asajñatva nissango vicharediha. So he says, know about this world which is temporary. Know about that truth which is permanent by pratyaksha, pratyakshena, by anumana, anumanena, by nigamena. Nigama means shastra. Nigama shastra. Nigama means shabda pramana. And he also says atma samvida, because there is some realization which dawns by practice. By this you know what adi antavat asat. This world which is asat is adi anta. It is having adi anta. On the other side, that which is sat doesn't have adi and anta. How do we know it? Pratyaksha, Anuman, Shabda, and our reality. So he's saying all of that. Knowing this, live in this. Krishna says, Vichare, Nissango Vichare. So today we saw in this description the first two of it. By Lord's mercy, we could complete it. So need for pramana, and also we saw 4 doshas there. Then we saw types of pramana and superiority of Shabda pramana. So what is there next is difficulty in understanding Shabda, Apaurusheya Shabda Vedas. And there is contrast between Shrutis and Smritis, 4 Vedas and Puranas. Among the Puranas, so much of variety is there. So many instructions are to what is right, what is highest, where we are, how do we understand it. So all that is the next part. Krishna's mercy, Acharya's mercy. We'll try to learn it tomorrow's session. So again, thanking all of you for this attending despite rain and evening late times and all like that. At this point, we will conclude here. Vancha kalpataru yascha kripa sindhu bhyayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki. Any of you have any comments or questions? Because as you had heard, there is a small quiz. All of you are on the WhatsApp group. So I will just post the link. Just open your smartphones. I will just post the link. You have to fill the quiz as a Google form. Prabhu, do you have? You have. Okay. All of you have, no? So I will share that. So now only we will do it. Another 5 minutes we will take. The much of what we are going to see is what we have learned. That is, sorry. Oh, is it so? That's okay. Okay. Happened to this? Can't seem to load. Reload. What happened? I put it in the form. Yes, Prabhu. Forgot to bring prints. ನಾನು ನಾಳೆ ಕೊಡ್ಲಾ ಅದೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ನಾನೀಗ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಶೇರ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆನ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ನಾವು ಅವಸರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಟುಮಾರೋ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲೀವ್ you have to go at this time only quiz part. Any questions are there, you stay. That's okay. Now 5 minutes devotees will just solve on their own. Okay. Hare Krishna, online devotees, any questions or comments?
You're good, Prabhu, but too deep, Prabhu.
Okay. So I'll just post. I hope all of you are on the WhatsApp group.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So now I am posting in this link. Thank you. You can tell me personally anything you want to. So I got it. Tomorrow you'll get some prints also. In case. Huh? You tell me, I'll add now only. I can add like. Yes. Roji, number you tell. 99. So please, devotees, you can open and solve it. Add members. 9998 440 77. Hey, no, not like this. No. There is a way. I forgot how I did it. One minute. Prabhuji, I am sending you personally link. Oh, sorry, sir. All of you, please.
Can we leave, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Did you get the links, Mataji?
We have to check, Prabhu. I'll check.
Okay, kindly. I wanted to close the forms after this 5-10 minutes because we just want to see that. Okay, okay. You can see and solve it. I understand. That's okay. Huh? 5 or 6. See, whatever you understand, you mark it. Question. No. Whatever it is, I could find the answer. Which one? No, you please mark in your understanding, no problem. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. She has even registered date. ಇರುತ್ತೀರಾ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅದು. Should I send this link? And when ಅದು ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ಹಾ ಹಾ 36 ನಿಮಗೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕಳ್ಸಿದೀನಿ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ. Rajagopal Kabir Das. We'll try to give some prints of write-ups of these notes tomorrow. For both the days, we will give tomorrow. So even if you fail to note something because of speed or something. So those devotees who are done, they can leave also. Tomorrow, one simple request I had, should we do at 11:30 or 11? Because some devotees may attend Sunday feast and take Prasad and they will have to wait over till 11:30. So 11:30 is good. 11:30 we'll meet here. Tomorrow we'll meet at 11:30. Thank you. Any questions online?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Will we get the recordings of the class, Prabhu?
Yeah. We will try to. Yes, we will try to arrange. It may not be today, tomorrow also.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
So today difficult, tomorrow.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can we answer these questions after we get the notes, Prabhu? Because so many things we understood, but we are not able to reproduce it, Prabhu. Because getting confused, Prabhu, with one term to another terminology.
Okay.
After we read again, then we can give the correct answer.
At your place, you read and then try to understand. At a time, you solve this quiz. Take it.
Yes, Prabhu.
At the last day, by that last day, that is next Sunday, complete these quizzes. Every day, one small quiz, because that day will, Krishna willing, will give some certificates. No need to feel that you have to come tomorrow only by solving the quiz. You can come there. Our intent is to learn, not to give tension of remembrance, memory. But to the best of capacity, we can try to recollect and write. You have to explain. Yeah. The best way to explain is by. So I will stop the online session. I hope, okay, only 2 devotees. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Dhanvat.